Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm new to YouTube, so you'll have to forgive me as I'm nervous to start making videos, but I do want to share my crafts with people and hope that I can inspire people to create their own things. Today I'm going to make a tag with a little window in it. Right now I'm just tracing out the template onto some pattern paper, and I've traced it twice, and so I will have two pieces when I cut them out. I'll have to glue those together later, but for right now I'm just going to cut them up and turn them over, and then I need to work out where I'm going to place my little window. Just making sure that they fit together perfectly and are neat, in case I might have to tidy the edges. So yeah, I've got some scalloped circle dies. I don't know the brand of these, I bought them from a D-Stash page. And here I've worked out where I'm going to put the window. I eventually decided to put them down in the corner. And right now I'm getting some acetate and I'm going to stamp onto my little butterfly onto them. I'm using a stamp from Kaisercraft. It's a little butterfly stamp right there, the smallest one, and I'm just going to stamp that onto some acetate with some StazOn ink. I forgot to take the lid off it properly. And you need to use StazOn ink because I'm stamping onto acetate, and if I use another ink it'll rub off, but the StazOn will obviously stay on. And once that's dry, after I clean up my stamp, once that's dry, I'm just going to work out where to put it. So I have to cut it down to size to fit it within my tag, but that's basically what it will look like. It will have a clear little window down there in the bottom of my tag with the butterfly showing through. And here I'm just going to use my food pen and mark whereabouts I want to cut my tag out to size. It doesn't really matter if it's neat or not, because it's going to be inside the tag sandwiched between them, so you won't see that. The foosball stamp will actually rub off of the acetate, so that doesn't make any, it won't matter that I drew on there. Now I'm just checking that it fits and nothing sticks out, and I can move on to sticking it together. I'm using some double-sided tape, and I'm putting it on the actual tags, because if I put it on the acetate I might make a mistake and it might show through the hole, which I already did do that, so the first time I tried this so I learned from that mistake. And just have to cover the whole thing with the double-sided tape, and I do a really messy job of that, but it doesn't matter because no one will see it once it's sandwiched together. Got this sped up really fast because obviously you don't want to sit here while I pick away at all that backing tape. It takes forever. So now I'm just lining them up and sticking them together, making sure that they all line up and there's nothing sticking out. And now I need to make a frame to go around that window. So I've just got some watercolor cardstock because it's just what I had right there, and I'm just going to paint it with some metallic paint. It's, I think, pink blue color from Prima. These are really nice paints. I use them a lot because I love them. And so yeah, just going to paint this cardstock, and then I need to cut out 2 frames using the scallop dies that I used earlier. You need to use 2 dies here to make a frame because you have the windows, so you can't put the circle underneath, so you need to use the 2 to create a frame. And these paints actually dry very fast, but I am very impatient and I didn't wait long enough for them to dry, so they did stick a little bit to my dies, but it was okay, they cleaned off alright. And now I just need to glue them down, and I'm using some Mod Podge, and this is the matte one. And I got this new brush, it's from Prima, it's a silicone brush, and I love it because you can just clean it off with a baby wipe. You don't need to go and wash it, and the glue doesn't stick to it and ruin the bristles, and so I love that. And I need to stick one of these on each side of my tag just to keep it neat. I'm going to work on my sentiment, and this is just a stamp set that I got from the Reject Shop rather recently. I think it costed like $2 or something like that, something ridiculously cheap. And I'm going to use my stamping tool for this and my VersaFine ink, because those are my preferences. I find that the stamp tool really helps me get a nice image there. If I mess it up, I can redo it and all as well. But the VersaFine ink is also great for sentiments, so that's my preferred ink for those, unless of course I'm painting or anything like that over the top. Now I'm just cutting that out, and I'm going to have a look at how it looks on my tag, whereabouts I want to put it, making sure it's fairly straight. And I've decided that I don't like how white it is against my vintagey kind of paper, and so I'm just distressing the edges with some vintage photo distress ink. And then I decide it's still too white, and so I decide to just pounce up and down on top a few times and darken that a little bit. And then I decide I still don't like it, and I go and I get some Memento ink. I can't remember the colour, I think it's baby blue or something like sky blue, something like that. And I go around with the blue as well, just to bring in some of the blue colour from the paper. And then I decide I'm happy with that. So I'm going to glue it down, just using the Mod Podge again. Oh, actually I'm using double-sided tape. Just tracing around the edges with a food ball pen. Just to give it some definition. And this is some more metallic paint. I think this is Steampunk Copper. Oh wait, I've gone for the acrylic paint now. This is just some light blue acrylic paint. I think it's Semco brand. These are really inexpensive. I think that one's linen, antique linen maybe. Very inexpensive paints, about $2 or $3 at Spotlight. I'm just painting down some of the sides to sort of I guess blend it out, make it all sort of blend together. I only do this on the front side of the tag as well. I mean, I left the front side, the back side as blank as possible, so that, you know, if you wanted to write on there, you could write on there. Now I've got the Steampunk Copper, and I'm just going in and putting some around the edges, giving some more sort of distress and defined sort of look to parts of the tag around the frame and around the sentiment and the edges. I just like how the metallic paints look as well. They're quite sparkly and pretty. And this is just a paper pen, cream colour, and I'm just going to add a couple of little dots, and they look a little bit like pearls when they're dry. Now I'm going to punch my hole for my seam binding. And I have some, I think this is called Lace Blue was the colour, seam binding for this. And I've cut a little piece off, and I'm just going to thread that through. And just to make it all come together, I'm just going to add some more of that steampunk copper to the seam binding, just to make it all sort of mesh and fit together, and so it all goes so that seam binding just doesn't stand out too starkly against the tag. It kind of looks like it was there all along. And thank you for watching my video today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it inspired you to create something of your own. And if you liked it, please give me a thumbs up or subscribe. And I'll see you next time.